evening and welcome to Milpark Education School of Commerce induction for the year 2022. My name is Somilantinge and I'm from the marketing team. Joining us today, we have Liz Raywater, who is the head of department. We have Mutlali Khomo Chalane, who is our senior program manager. We are also joined by Beverly Bartlett, who is a lecturer within the School of Commerce. We also have Leilani Nyoni, who is a program manager within the school as well. And before we get started, there's just a few things that I'd like to show you around within our platform. We have an ask a question box. This is at the bottom of your screen. You can pop in all your questions that you'll have throughout the sessions, and we'll be able to answer those questions from there. We also have an interactive chat box, and I see everyone has been chatting, saying hi. Rose, we see you. Viewer, we see you. Bayanda, welcome. Please continue to chat on that interactive chat box. We'd love to hear from you, where you're joining us, and any other way or anything you'd like to say to us during this session. And so right now, I'm going to hand over to Mutlali Khomo, who will take us through the program and show you guys a few things. Over to you, Mutlali Khomo.
Samira, can you start with the presentation?
Samira, can you start with the presentation? Okay.
Thank you. Sorry to keep you waiting. Thank you very much, Samila. Good day, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. So late in the evening, we tried to accommodate everyone, and we thought that around 5 until 6, it would be the best time for us to have this. As Samila has introduced, my name is Mutlali Khomo Chalane. I'm the senior program manager in the School of Commerce. And today we'll be taking you through some stuff that will help you as a student so that you can be successful in your qualification. Because all of us here, that's the only thing that is our goal, so that we can help you to be able to succeed. The first person that I would love to introduce is Miss Pravila, who is our student counselor. I needed her to come through so that she can inform me what does she do on her side, so that she can be able to assist you as students. Because from our side, your well-being is the most important thing. Remember, when the mind is not functioning properly or something is affecting your emotions, then everything is a lost cause. So I needed her to just touch base on her side so that she can just introduce herself and tell you what does she do. And then after she has done that, if she's available now, I'll go through the program with you, and then along the way, I'll hand over to the senior lecturer, Miss Beverly Bartlett, to just touch on some points. And after she's done, she'll just hand it over back to my side, and then we'll just finish off the program, having your questions later on. And after that, we'll close the session. It's not going to be something long, I promise. I know it's late. So, Sumila, on your side, I don't know, is Miss Pravila here already?
Hi, Nono. I think you can just continue and then I'll let you know. Oh, actually, she's here. I'll ask her to join now.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Can you just wait a bit so that she can finish off on her side? As soon as she's done, we will carry on with the program.
There we go. She should be she's accepting, and she should be coming in.
Afternoon, everybody. Afternoon, everybody. Can I be heard, Samila? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Pravila.
Perfect. Good evening, students, staff, and everyone else that's joined into this forum tonight. My name is Pravila Naika, and I am the student counselor for Milpark. I've been with Milpark for a few years, and some of the things that I work with generally is I deal with the various psychological, emotional, and some of your particular academic requirements for the year or concerns for the year. For many of you, this might be your first time entering into Milpark and into this, this kind of space. So it can feel quite daunting and a bit scary as well. Some of you may be feeling quite overwhelmed as well with all the different processes in place. So this is where I come in. Should you be feeling any of this, you can set up an appointment with me and I can help you work through some of the difficulties that you are experiencing, particularly when it comes to the work-life balance and helping you with study skills as well. I work a lot with time management with various students. Many of you may be working as well. So it can be quite challenging when you enter into an online space as well to manage all the different things, such as your studies, your family life, and your work as well. So when we have sessions, I will take you through different processes where we can discuss some of this and assist with helping you get the most out of your time of day. Please note that I cannot help you with particular questions regarding each of your various subjects or modules. That you'll have to contact directly or put those questions directly to your program managers or your lecturers. I come in generally if it comes to emotional difficulties that you are experiencing or psychological difficulties. I am available on a Monday and Thursday only between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. via Zoom. I think at the end of the session, my email address will be given to all of you. It's just the counseling email address, which is counseling@milpark.ac.za. That is my direct email address. And for anybody who requires any form of assistance, you are more than welcome to email me directly on that email address. Should you have any questions or comments that you may not be sure of and you're struggling with, please, you are also more than welcome to email me, and I can answer those directly via that email as well. Thank you. I see the counseling email address has been put up for you guys as well. During the course of the year, should anything come up, particularly around anxiety during exam time, stress, any of those things, you are more than welcome to contact me and I can help you work through some of that stuff. Remember, it's not easy when you are managing so many different things, particularly when we're coming just out of COVID. Some of you may have lost important people in your lives. Some of you may have experienced COVID yourselves directly. And all of that has an impact on how you function as a student as well. So keep bearing that in mind. I will also assist in helping you navigate all of those challenges as the year goes on. I am available throughout the year. Appointments need to be made in advance because I am available for such a short period to Milpark. So if you have something urgent, please don't wait till the last minute or on the day to get help. Please try and message me or email me sometime earlier so that I can give you a slot as soon as possible. If there are any other questions, you're more than welcome to put it onto the chat box, or you can send me an email directly. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Pravila. I think we'll hand over to Nono again.
Yeah.
So, Nono,
thank you, Pravila, for the time.
Thank you, Pravila, for the time.
Thank you. Okay, now we can carry on with our presentation. Vila is a very nice lady, I should add, because I'm using her all the time when it comes to my students who are at risk, but we're going to learn more about that as we go along. And then she's always willing to assist. And I promise you, as soon as the students have had a session with her, I see a new person altogether. So I don't know what does she do, but she has some magic. So we can carry on with the program. So let me just welcome you to the School of Commerce induction session, or we can just say you're welcome as our first year students. And the first thing that we love to touch base on is that on the School of Commerce, we have different qualifications. The first one that I would love to speak about is the Business of Administration and Business Bachelor of Commerce. Oh my God, Bachelor of Commerce. And then with that on its own, Tamila, you can go back to the other slide. There are different modes of learning for that, for the BBA and the BCom. That's how we call them. And then we have the first mode of study, which is distance learning. And then with distance learning, it's more like your self-study because everything is loaded for you on the semester. And then it's less interactive, meaning that you have to push yourself, because if everything is loaded there, it means that you have to go craft your own timetable that you can adhere to so that you can be able to be active on the qualification. And then it's offered in 2 semesters, meaning from Feb until May and June. That's when you'll be having your exams. And then from July until October, November, that will be your second semester. First semester is Feb until May. Second semester is from July until November. So it's offered in 2 semesters in a year. And then on it, we have 1 assignment, we have 2 online tests, and then we have 1 exam. And then before an exam or an assignment is handed in, we have what we call an assignment or an exam overview session, where the lecturer will be going through everything that they have touched on the module with you guys, so that you can just be able to know exactly what have you done, because sometimes we tend to forget because of everything that's happening in life. And then again, we have what we call distance learning online. The 2 modes of learning are very different, as I have said. With the distance learning online, it's more interactive. There's more happening on it than you can imagine, but it's for your benefit also. If you are somebody that loves to be pushed, this is the one that will push you. And then it's on offer on 8-week cycle. It's not per semesters like distance learning online. It's on 8 weeks cycle. And then on that 8 weeks, there are some things that are happening that you should be aware of. The first one is that for that 8 weeks, you're going to have what we call discussion participation, meaning that for each and every week in that 8 weeks, there's going to be something that is posted, a question based on the content of the module. So what you will be required from me is going through your content of the module, study whatever chapter that they said that you should touch base on or topic, do that topic, and then engage with that question. And then when you engage with it, typing down whatever response that you have, it can be seen by all the students who are part of your class. So you might type and say, for this module, I feel like this, or this is my view. But if I'm a student on that qualification, I can come back and say, but no, I'm seeing your point 1 and point B, but for my point 3, I see it like this. So it creates that a little bit of interaction between the students, but the academic is always there, so that when you are going off course, they can just, hey, come back, this is the course that you're going to, not the one that you're going to. So it goes like that with the discussion participation, which are for every week. And then on it, we have 3 assignments, not 1 assignment like on distance learning online. And the reason for this assignments to be 3 is because 1 assignment is cut down into 3 different assignments. But for you to be able to sit in for your exam, you need all 3 assignments. You cannot just say, oh, I'm picking to do assignment 1 and assignment 3. Assignment 2, I'm not doing it. If you do that, it means that you won't be able to write your exam at a later stage. So for you to be able to write your exam, all those 3 assignments for distance learning online are essential. And then on it again, we have 3 online tests. And then those 3 online tests also should be completed. And then we also have 1 exam. And then before the exam and the assignment, also like on distance learning online, we have what you call an assignment and exam overview. So that's what will be happening on distance learning online. And then if you need to know more on distance learning online, when we go to the further part of the presentation, I'm going to share with you email addresses of the relevant program managers that you can be able to communicate with on the streams that we are all involved in, because each one of us has something that they are doing. So at the moment, we're only able to have Miss Nyoni on this session, but the other PMs are there and they have joined. So I'll just share their details with you so that you can have that. So Mila? Okay. And then the other thing that I just wanted to touch base on that the DLO PM asked me to share with you is this timetable. This timetable is for BBA and BCom students who are doing their qualification through distance learning online, one of our study modes. And on it, as I have said, that it's something that is running on 8-week cycle. For each and every cycle, there are different type of modules that are on offer. So there's no way that as a student, you can say that for cycle 2, I would like to take a module that is on offer on cycle 5. If that module is not there, like here, you see that for cycle 2, we have specific modules that are running. So it means that those modules are the ones that have to be registered for that cycle. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less, only those that are there. So all the time with distance learning online, you just focus on the cycles, like on this cycle, what can I be able to take? And as a first year student, we love to advise you that, guys, please don't register because you see that this exam date is further. Maybe I should take it and don't take this one. The only thing that we can advise you that always look at is your fact sheet. And then if you don't know what is a fact sheet, I'll make it a point that I do inform you. A fact sheet is a document that shows you your modules from your first year, your second year, and your third year. So what we normally advise students is that stick to your year of study. If you're a first year student, complete all modules that are on your first year. Don't jump around and move around and say that, oh, I want to complete another one from second year, or I need to complete another one from third year, because along the way, we're going to inform you that that is not possible, because for you to be able to do any of the third year modules, you must make it a point that all your first year modules are completed. So in that way, it means now we're going to mess everything. So all the time, if you are a distance learning online student, make sure you go to the timetable that is offered. See what modules are there for you, first year modules that are there for you to be able to register. So this means that you have to know your fact sheet so that you can know which modules are first year, which modules are second year, and which modules are on third year. So this will help you. And also with the students on distance learning is the same thing. They have their own timetable that is different, is per semesters. So you should just check on semester 1, which first year modules do I have there? On semester 2, which first year modules do I have there, so that you can register accordingly and don't confuse yourself and us having to rework your registration because it's not in the correct way. So this is about it, about the timetables and how you're supposed to follow them. But if you need more information, we're going to share our email addresses. You can still ask questions after. And then, as I have said, that on the School of Commerce, we have a lot of qualification. This is one of our qualification, a lower level qualification, which is not NQF level 7, like the Bachelor of Commerce or the Bachelor of Business Administration, and it's higher certificate in management. And also the higher certificate in management, which is an NQF level 5 qualification with 120 credits on it. It has a way that you have to register your module according. So from the first semester, those are the modules that you can register in the first semester. So if it happens that you are a student now and you didn't register for anything now in this semester, and then you're only considering to register in the second semester, it means that in the second semester, you'll only focus on the modules that are under semester 2. These other modules that are on this side for semester 1, because semester 1 have passed you, you're not going to do them. You'll only do these modules on semester 2. And the ones on semester 1, you can only do them in 2023, the first semester, because that's how it's structured and that's how the modules are on offer. And the other thing on this qualification or program is that it doesn't have distance learning online like the Bachelor of Business Administration and the Bachelor of Commerce. on its own, it only runs on distance learning, not distance learning online. But please, as one of the PMs have asked, Miss Wendy Denny, she said that please, when you do the presentation, emphasize this to students, because sometimes it causes some headache, because the employer would have paid some money for them to register, but they would have taken modules that they're not supposed to take. So we need to push back, and it becomes a bit of a clash between ourselves, them, and the employer, because now the employer will come back and say, but no, I didn't pay for this modules, and it's a whole story for them to get another proof of payment. So please, guys, stick to the timetable when it comes to that, also when you are registering for higher certificate in management. And then the other thing as first year students that you should know of is what we call Moodle or My Courses or Student Portal. Because on Moodle or My Courses, that's where all the content of the information is shared. Everything about the module is shared on My Courses. And then that's where you'll get your study material. Like if there's a book that you need to write, that you need to buy for that, on that my courses, it will inform you that for this module we need this book, if ever you didn't print out the actual prescribed textbook list, so that you can know. But if you go on your platform, you can be able to see what study material is required for this. Is it only the study guide, or does it need a prescribed textbook? It will also inform you about your formatives, which are your assignments and online tests. And then it will also inform you about your summative, which is your exam. Because even with the exam, remember now that everything is done remotely. Our exams are also done on My Courses. So it means that after typing whatever that you have to type, you load it there. But also we're going to touch on that as we move along, so that you can know exactly what do I mean when I say our exams are done on My Courses. And then also on My Courses, we have what we call mock assessments. With the mock assessments, those are the assessments that help us before you take a proctored exam, so that we can know that you know your story on how to function the entire proctorial system, which I'll inform you about later on as we go along. So as I have said, that on Moodle, it has all the information that you need as a student, so that you can be able to be successful on the module. So it means that if you're a student and you never log on to Moodle, you will never be able to find anything. Because even here on Moodle, we have what we call tutor forum, which is a forum that you can use as a student to be able to type down a query. If you have, let's say that you're studying a certain chapter or a certain topic and you don't understand, immediately you can go to your Moodle and go to your tutor forum and be able to post your question there. So this page for a student is the most vital thing ever, because even if we have announcements about a lecturer maybe not being able to do something with you guys, we post it there. Something that you might need to check, we post it there, so that it gives you constant communication. And also sometimes we send mass emails. Let's say that we want to send emails to all students or in that class. We use Moodle, because with it we are able to send mass emails, so it helps us with communication also. So please guys, Moodle is very important also. And then the other thing that I have included while I was working through your stuff, I saw that recently I was also myself registered for a module with Milpark, an internal module. And guys, I won't lie to you, it was difficult for me to know where to go, because from my side, as somebody who works for Milpark, I only know how to help you as a student on the other side of being an employee. But being a student, it was a challenge for me to do it. So I was like, you know what, this is something when we have induction, I'm going to include. So I included this so that you can know how to get that model that I have been screaming about, that is very important. So what you can do is to go on Google and then insert that address, www.milpark.ac.za, and then you click on enter. After you have done that, this page that will come up, after you have done that, you will have this page, which is our website. And then when you have this page, you can just click on student. And then when you click on student, the next page will appear. This page will appear. When this page appears also, you can just click here. You see number 1, there are some instructions that are given to you there. You'll have to click on number 1 so that you can log out of Microsoft. If you are using something that is related to work and you're on Microsoft, you have to click out here because there are some things that don't need that. And then after doing that, you will click on student, and then immediately it will take you to the coming up page now. It will take you to this page. Then on this page, as I have said, when you go to my learning, you can see my courses there that I have just informed you about. When you click on that page, it will open my courses and it will show you everything that is on my courses. And then sometimes, let's say that you have to be part of a certain class that is on Teams, because that's what we use nowadays. You just click there, Microsoft Teams, and then you can be able to find the class that you are on. But remember, for you to be able to find the class that you're supposed to be on, let's say that it's a distance learning online, because that's where we have classes sometimes. And on distance learning, we only have assessment overview sessions. You click there, you have to know the module code that you're looking for, because remember that you'll be registered for a couple of modules. So if you don't know what module code you're looking for, you're going to struggle. So you click on here, and then you can be able to go to Teams also, so that you can be able to be part of that class or a session that is happening for a specific module that you'd be registered for. So this is our little system that helps us to also be able to connect to the module page that I've been saying that is very important for you as a student. So please, guys, do that if you haven't, because I thought that by now you are registered and you tried things out. But if you haven't done so, please do so as soon as this session is done. Just try it out, because I know that sometimes when someone is explaining something, you don't get it, but immediately when you do it, because we are different people when it comes to learning, then you can be able to get it. So please try it out after this session and follow whatever that instructions that I've gave you, so that you can see that are you able to log on or are you not able to log on. And if you have any challenges or whatsoever, you're going to have our email addresses. You can inform us about it. And again, on tutor on module page, I have said that it also have what we call tutor forum. So I just want to inform you how to use tutor forum, because in the previous years we have had a bit of challenges, but I don't want that to happen with you. I just want the communication to be clear from now on until forever. With tutor forum, you use it if you need help with a problem related to studying the course content. You can request assistance from your tutor, and sometimes this person called tutor is actually your academic, the person who is the academic of that module. And then the next part again with tutor forum is that it also, when you post the question there, all the students who are part of that module, they're able to see the question. So sometimes the answer won't even necessarily come from the academic, but it can come from one of the students to say, I have found that answer here, and this is what I have done. So in that way, you have that relationship of communicating with other students and being able to assist one another. So tutor forum also helps us with that. But let's say that nobody is able to answer you. The academic can be able to come back and be able to inform you like of whatever information that you need, or refer you to a certain page that read this page. I believe after reading this, you'll be able to know exactly what do you need. And then also on tutor forum, we have a turnaround time. Our turnaround time is that you're supposed to be answered on any query that you posted there within 2 business days, which is 48 hours. And then if it happens that nobody contacts you and you see that, okay, today is the 48th hour, and then nobody has came back to me, you are more than welcome to send your relevant program manager an email to say that if it's me, nobody's coming back to me. I have posted this question on tutor forum, but the academic is not coming back to me. Then on my side, I'll make it a point that I inform the academic that, okay, I know that your schedule is busy, because they're always busy and we are aware of that, but can you please assist our student? They need this information, and they'll be able to come back to you. So when you load this question of yours on tutor forum, there's certain things that should be there, because if they're not there, we struggle to find who is the student. Let's say that we need to call you or we need to send you an email. We don't know who you are. But if you have given us your student number, and then you have given us the module that you are querying about, and then you have given us your qualification and a brief and a clear description of your problem, like what is your problem exactly, what do you need from our side, then we'll be able to find you and be able to assist you. Because if you don't give us your student number, remember that there's so many Talanes at Milpark. Maybe I'm not even the only Talane at Milpark. There's not one border at Milpark. There's so many borders. So I have to struggle to find you that who is this person. But if you have given me your student number, I promise you, with your student number, I can find anything about you. So if you have given us your student number, everything will be sorted and your query can be dealt with urgently as soon as it's received. But if other information is missing, then you're going to have challenges and problems, and your queries won't be resolved in time. So Mila, okay, thank you. And then this is what I have taken from the first slide, if you can still remember. And I swear, if you were on campus and we're doing this live, I was just gonna tease you because that's what I love doing and give people prizes. But shame, because everybody's at home, I won't be able to do that. So I decided to share the information again. It's how assessments per modules, like how many assessments are needed from you on a certain study mode. As I have said before, on distance learning, you need one assignment, 2 online tests, and 1 exam. And then all of those, the 1 assignment, you have a specific date that you have to submit it on. The 2 online tests, they have 2 different dates that you have to submit them, that you have to complete them on. And your exam also will have a different date that you have to take your exam on. And then on distance learning, online, as I have said before, that you're going to have discussions for that 8 weeks that are running for the distance learning online cycle, which is 8 weeks. You're going to have that. But with your assignment, you're going to have your assignment in week 1, week 3, and week 5. The 3 assignments will be divided week 1, week 2, and week 1, week 3, and week 5. And then when it comes to your online test, it's going to be in week 2, week 4, and week 6. That's where your online test will be happening. And then you're going to have only 1 exam based on that. And guys, please don't forget what I have said. Your assignments are important. You need to complete them so that you can qualify for your exam. Because without your assignment, then you ain't going to sit for the exam. It means that you have lost on money that you have registered the module with. You have lost on your time that you could have completed that module and took another module. So all the time when you see your assignment, you are seeing something that needs to be killed, like, yeah, if I can put it like that, something that you just need to destroy so that it could be done. And then one thing again that I love also to tell my students, your online tests also are important, because when you look at some document that Ms. Beverly is going to inform you about, which is called an assessment guideline, that document will tell you that online tests are not compulsory. But from my side, for you guys to have that good marks if you go into your exam, take everything, do all your online tests, do all your assignments, so that when you go into that exam room, already you have that knowledge. Because immediately if you go into an exam room without being certain of what you know, you're gonna panic. And when you panic, you're gonna start doing things that you were not supposed to do, which will just lose you more marks ultimately. So please, guys, if you are on distance learning and on distance learning online, those are the assessments that we require from your side. And then Miss Beverly Bartlett, over to you with assessment guideline. I'm just gonna take off my screen so that nobody can see me.
Hi, everybody. Can you just put in the chat box if you're able to hear my voice? Just show some thumbs up or whatever. So it is an absolute joy to have been asked to be part of the first year induction. Awesome. Thank you, Kasani. Thank you, Alison. It's always good to see you on screen. I've got your feedback. That's wonderful. I've been at Milpark for going on 7 years. and my speciality is the BBA Human Resource Management degree. But what I'm going to talk to you about this evening is how important the assessment guidelines are. Now, I've been watching the chat box, and I've been looking at the individual questions, and Motlek Homo will advise you on what we've got is we've got an admin setup where if you have a particular question, you can get hold of our student services email. Okay, so if you are distance online or DLO, you have a separate support, and you can basically, I'm just going to put that in the chat box now. So if so see it as a different direction. If you are registered distance online, you would contact our email address. Then we have a student services email address. Nono and Somila, would you kindly just shift the next slide, please? All right. So what we've got is we've got a team of people that are going to answer your questions. If you don't get immediate answers now, what we'll do is we will, if you give us your student number, we will then go and look back at the crowdcast and we will get back to you. All right, so please don't be panicked. This is not a once-off. Remember, what we are actually doing is we're just trying to welcome you and say how excited we are in order to have you as part of Milpark Education. And thank you for choosing Milpark as your service provider. All right, Monia, I'm so sorry that you are buffering. We have bad weather in Johannesburg. We can assure you that it's not on our side. The minute the recording is actually finished, what we'll actually do is we will provide the link, and our marketing department will also email this as a part of our welcome to students. All right, so I've seen that a number of you have come from higher certificate, and your question is what is Proctorio? So Proctorio is an online invigilating system. So every university that, due to the pandemic, has transitioned to the digital connection, what we're actually doing is, as part of our regulatory requirements, we have chosen a service provider, Proctorio. And Proctorio, basically, you have to give your computer access. All right, there was one question where the student said, I don't have a computer, I use my work computer. Please speak individually to the student services. What we actually do is, if it's a large bank, we will actually approach the institution on your behalf and get us added to the whitelist. So please don't panic. A lot of Milpark students are actually using their employers' material and work. So that's not necessarily a barrier. Okay. The problem is, if you are in a regulatory institution, there is going to be a there's going to be a process, because obviously, because of the nature of your business, you don't want they want to be sure that you're using the right access. All right, so I love Dr. Seuss. So this is just my little welcome. So my major question to you is, you've brains in your head, you've feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself in any direction you choose. At Milpark Education, we treat you like adults. Nadia, yes, you're going to get the recording. Sean, just to answer your question, the course material is in a soft copy on my courses. Just navigate the tabs and you will see that your assessment guidelines, which we're talking about now, are particularly added there. Okay, so right, if we could have the next slide, please. So why have I been asked to talk about the assessment guidelines? So basically, what we've done when we develop our study material, okay, what we do is we develop study material that lasts for a number of years. But the requirements change annually, all right? Because we've got new things that come in, like Proctorio came in about a year ago. So we have to update students. So the study guide guides and informs you of your content, whereas the assessment guidelines are updated annually and inform you of the content focus. So as a student, you will know what to study. Because, for example, if you were studying Human Resource Management 1, I've got my textbook here. The textbook is always around. If you are studying from NQF 6, you will actually find that your study material, you will have to go and buy a textbook. Now, the textbook, there's normally a number of options. You can get a ebook, but I must admit that when it's a textbook this size, a number of students actually prefer to go and purchase it because you might want to underline it and make notes from it. Now, the good news is you don't have to study every page in a thick textbook. So how do we guide this? We guide this through the separate document that is on your tab in my courses, and it goes through it in a certain way. We are eco-friendly institutions, so we actually say try not and kill too many trees. So, but this document, it's only a few pages. Please print it out. Print it out once, and you will be able to inform your studies. All right, so the next thing that, the next slide, please, the areas to highlight. So on the front page of your assessment guidelines, if you've actually explored, it will tell you the name of your module, all right? And Osejo, sorry about the freezing. Yeah, again, it might just be used with weather conditions all over South Africa. All right, it'll tell you the year of studying. So in other words, you're not going to go and study the 2021 guidelines. You're going to study the 2022. You can look at the code of the module, because we've coded these because, again, this is regulatory and it forms into a degree framework. It will inform you of the correct version of the textbook, which is also listed on the Milpark Education website, and your book list. Okay, so if you go and access the Milpark Education site, you will find that every qualification has a book list. And then we move to the exit module outcomes. All right, so Uwais, I hope I'm saying your name right, for the Proctorio system, is it essential to download it in order to write the exams? Okay, so yes, Uwais, you are going to have to give you computer access to the Proctorio software. All right, so this is an example, this is one of the modules that I oversee as part of the human resources degree. So what we're actually saying to you as students, at the end of this module, So if you want to know, just like at school, what's important, we're giving you the pattern. We're not here to trick you, we're here to support you. So at the end of the module, once you have completed, you are going to be able to, so what can you do after doing this? Interpret the legislation, contribute. Look at the verbs, contribute meaningfully, be involved in the management of discipline, and assist with the processing of grievances. So when we actually, on the front of your assessment guidelines, talk about the exit outcome, as a result of studying the whole module, you will be equipped to do the following. Now, the fun part is that if you then say to me, what is important? I'll say, is it one of the 4 or 5 things that are listed as an exit outcome? That already tells you you can't skip that chapter. Right. Okay, so then let's look at the next page. So the next page after the sample exit outcomes, you are going to be informed about the number of formatives and summatives. So this might be something that you are familiar with from your previous studies. So your formatives in the scaffolding way will actually build up and give you short activities that will add up to your final mark. So in other words, when you go into an exam, you won't just have to get an exam mark, you will get helped to the amount of 30% generally with your formative marks. So in the formatives, you will be told how much does your test count in terms of weighting and how many assessments. So generally at first year, you will have 2 online tests. So when you look at the study plan, please go and pay attention to those dates. We do send you an SMS, but it is always very helpful to set it up on your smartphone or in your work calendar because you have a week to complete those tests. Now, remember that the first test is actually proctored. The reason why we do this is we are actually trying in the process to get you comfortable with our invigilation software. So, for example, if somebody is moving behind you, you'll see in terms of the exam rule, that is not allowed. You will see that in terms of the Proctorio recording, you'll be able to see how much of my person appears, because we can't tell anything if we only see the top of your head. We have to actually see, and we would assume that if you're typing, your head is bent like this. All right, Kagiso, we're sorry you're not getting the live feed. You will get the recording. All right, now then, very important, please start working towards your assignment. What do we do in terms of assignment? We actually give you assignment support via a recording or a live session, and we always schedule it in the evening to facilitate the working students. All right, so your assessment guidelines will actually help you with that. Then we tell you, I see we've been getting a lot of questions on, is this open book? Is this closed book? So in your assessment guidelines, we actually tell you about the summative exam. We tell you, if it is open book, it will be proctored. For those of you who are studying, if you're studying the degree, it will be proctored. There are some learnership modules that aren't proctored. So Sanele, you say, is the current calendar found? Yes. So when you look at your current calendar on my courses, you will see that we actually block the dates so that you can count down. So there's a number of areas where those dates are captured, just to remind you, because the worst case scenario, and it's something that the program managers and I can do very little about, if you miss that final date, you are going to have to apply for an academic committee, and if you actually see the assessment guidelines will specifically instruct you that you cannot access the exam writing without submitting an assignment. So it's very important to do the advice. I'm getting that to going to answer your question now. So it's very important to write the test, but it's not compulsory, and that's stated in the assessment guidelines. So you'll see that very similar to this example, we give you the length and the format of the exam. We give you whether it's the levels of difficulty, and we tell you the format. All right, so let's then move on to answering Uvaisa's question. Uvaisa says, where do we find the content and what to study for the exam? All right, Amonia, I'm getting to you now. So Mila, if you could give me the next slide, please. So you will actually see that when we get to the last 3 pages of the assessment guidelines, it will actually give you a heading which actually says specific exam guidelines. Okay, so Mila, can I have the next slide, please? Okay, so basically the module outcomes. So an example of this would be very simply define leadership. So in other words, what you're going to do is you're going to go with your study guide, you're going to put it with your assessment guidelines, and you're going to actually look for a page number. So you'll see that the module outcome will actually say, this is in topic 1. You will see as you follow the story in the study guide that it will tell you read section 1.2. Sometimes we give you a page number. Then you're going to go and say, where do I find the definition of leadership? All right. So the specific module guidelines will tell you what to study in each topic. Access the textbook if there's a textbook required, and also the study guide. And then you will find this content in your study guide and the textbook, and then you can start your notes. So I hope that actually answers your questions. All right. There's one question that I just want to take from the chat. It says, in terms of the summative exam, you only get 1 attempt. All right. So say you don't get through, because we offer an extended opportunity, you would just please refer to your student handbook and the student rules. And you would get if you get what we call a supplementary, according to the rules, you would then get that opportunity. So say it's semester 1 for distance, the next semester, you would, at the start of that semester, you would actually get another opportunity. Okay, so you'd have to wait till the next cycle. But if, unfortunately, you don't get through, you would have to repeat the module. But remember, this is all subject to reading the student handbook, which is very, very important. Okay, thank you very much, Hobo.
Oh, thank you, Bev. Thank you, Beverly. Thank you very much, ma'am. Really appreciate the assistance. I'm just waiting for Samila to load my few slides, and then we'll be done. And then what Ms. Samila is going to add for us is about Proctorio that everybody has been asking about, like, are we going to need it for exams? Yes, we are going to need it for exams, because Proctorio is the the system that we currently use as Milpark and other institutions, that helps us since all exams are taken remotely. So it helps us to invigilate the students, because remember that before COVID happened, the exams were taken in a venue, and in that venue there'll be people walking around, which were the invigilators, just to check that there's nothing wrong that is happening with the student within the exam room. Nobody's cheating, nobody is doing anything that is not allowed to be done. So Proctorio is a system that helps us to do that. And for it to be able to work, there are certain things that I needed, and I'm going to go through those so that you know already now before your exam, and you're able to sort yourself out so that when we have exams, you don't have issues. So what would happen is that this clever system that we're using, it would help us, and while you write your exam, and there are certain things that it will require you to do, like taking the picture of yourself so that we can know who we're dealing with, and then you don't take me and say, write my exam for me, but it will be you. So those are the things that helps us. And then again, while you're writing, it records everything. If you take your phone call, if you are on an email, it records everything. So in that way, it helps us to flag irregular behavior that the student is doing during the exam. So Proctorio is very essential for us. So it's going to be here and it's staying. So I just pray that you guys get used to it so that we can be able to use it nicely, all of us. So on the next slide, I have touched on some things of why do we need online proctoring. It increases authenticity as your ID verification is needed, and you also take a picture of yourself. And then also it secures academic integrity of the exam process. Because just think that if you're writing the exam, and you are at home without any form of Proctorio or any invigilating tool that we have implemented and other institutions around the world, it was going to be a problem because somebody else might take your exam for you. So Proctorio prevents that from happening. And also on our side, remember that as an institution, we have signed some certain things with the CHE that we're going to do this and do that. So this is part of us and keeping to the commitment that we have with our regulators. So hence we have Proctorio on our side. And we need it so that it can assist us. And then the other thing is that from your side as a student, what will you need to be able to complete a proctored assessment? You're going to need a laptop or a Mac or a desktop, but your desktop has to have a camera. If it doesn't, please see people who are dealing with computers who are IT friendly, because I'm not, so that they can inform you what can you buy that will help you so that your desktop, if you're using a desktop, can have that camera, because that is essential, because it's going to help us to record everything that you're doing as a student. You're going to need a webcam. You're going to need an internet for the duration of the exam. So your internet should be stable. If already you are somebody who's hotspotting from the cell phone and doesn't have a router or anything, now is the right time for you to be able to stand up and go and find that router, because I promise you a router is very stable and it will assist you. And then it doesn't need to be very fast, but it's supposed just to be stable, the internet connection that you have. And then enough data should be on it, because remember that our exams run for 1.5 hours or 2 hours or 2.5 hours. So you should make it a point that your internet, your data coverage, it lasts you and it doesn't just cut off while you're busy with your exam. And then it should have internet browser, and it should also have Chrome so that you can be able to access everything that we need you to access on the side. Samila? And then here we are going to share the recording with you, and then you'll go through everything that I won't be able to touch on because I'm just checking out the time and I see that we're going to be behind. But from your side, you're gonna need operating systems. And then the operating system that we need is Windows 7 or more. If you have Windows 8, that is okay. You can be able to use it. And then if it happens that you are on Mac, we're going to need the Mac that is written there. And then if you are on Linux, we're going to need Ubuntu 18.04. so that you can be able to use this. And then if you're on Chrome OS, we're going to need Chrome 58 Plus. So everything, all the information that is written here about the disk space, the processor. Those are the things that are going to be needed that your system has, so that you can be able to access these proctoral exams that you're going to be running. Because even it's not only the proctored exams, we also have proctored online tests, which will help you to know how does the system work. Because if we catch you there that you have a problem, then it makes things easier for us for the exam, so that we can plan and prepare on how to assist you. So one of our online tests is proctored. For that reason, that you take it as a proctored, so that we can see any challenges that are coming up, so that with your exam you don't struggle. But guys, everything that is written there on the slide is everything that is needed your system to have. If it doesn't, please take it already and just make sure that you fit everything, you load, you install whatever that needs to be installed, so that when your online tests are coming up and then also your exams are coming up, you are sorted, so that you can be able to use proctoral system. And then also on our side, remember that as Milpark, we have a number of students, and I'm proud to say that we have a lot of students. So on our side as program managers, even though we're saying that you can email us directly and all of that, there's no way that we can be able to be on the phone and be able to deal with emails and other projects that we are involved in. So in that case, we have this dedicated team that assists students with queries. Let's say that you need something in Milpark, you can also email it to them and they'll direct it to the relevant person who can be able to assist you. And they are comment support. And below is their email address that you can be able to get them on and send an email on their side, the comment support team who can be able to assist you. They're assisting our student on higher certificate in management, advanced certificate in management, BBA, BCom. All the students are assisted by this team. And then while Ms. Beverly was talking, she picked up on academic committee. This is a forum that helps us to assist students with special cases. Let's say that you were not able to write your exam because maybe you had a death in the family, because we all know that death is inevitable. There's nothing that you can do about it, but it does happen. Or maybe you were ill, you were sick, and you couldn't take an exam. So what happens is that there's a form that has to be completed, and that form goes to the academic committee, and the committee will be sitting there, which is made up of people in the commerce school and the entire Milpark, which are having serious position in the company, so that they can be able to discuss your matter and see what is the best way to be able to assist you. So in the next slide, I'm just going to show you how are you supposed to apply for this, like going through some things that you have to do so that you can be able to apply for the academic committee. Everything with the academic committee request, guys, is done online. It is not done by email, where you can just send us an email to say that, but I'm sick, I'm not able to write. Because from this, there's some documents that are needed. So everything, it has to be online on our website, and I'll just inform you what to do. And then everything that needs to be uploaded, it's also uploaded there, and it makes easier access on our side, so that the student support people can be able to refer your query to the relevant department that they need to, or to the AC, so that your matter can be discussed, because academic committee, we refer to it as AC. To submit a request, these are the steps that you have to follow. You'll have to log on to student portal using your username and password. Click on my application and special request. Select your qualification. Please don't forget to select your qualification, because it won't go through. Select the request type that you want to apply for. Let's say that you have missed your exam. It's going to be a deferral, meaning that you want to sit for an exam in another exam sitting. But for you to be able to qualify for a deferral, you're supposed to have submitted your assignments. If your assignments are not submitted, you're not going to qualify for a deferral. And then let's say that you have an assignment and you are not able to take that assignment, you are not able to submit that assignment when it's supposed to be submitted. You can also apply for this and ask for assignment extension. There, the request types is the forms that will come up. The form is in a PDF format. but that PDF format is editable. You can be able to add anything on it and be able to attach your signature. And please, guys, one thing that I have to emphasize that with academic committee meetings, we struggle with is you guys not putting the date of when your request was submitted, because that is needed. And each and every time you have an AC request that you have to send through, make it a point that is immediate. If you are sick now and the exam is tomorrow, just make it a point that immediately when you know that you are sick and then you have everything from the doctor, you apply for an AC. You don't wait forever, because after 5 days, whatever query you're going to come up with, no matter how serious it is not going to be considered. So make it a point that as soon as something is happening to you and you have proof and evidence, because that will be needed for the AC, you do already apply for your AC so that it could be on the system. And then from the side, we will also need you to type a little motivation of the request that you're sending through on our side. On that portal, and all supporting documents are needed. And also, guys, for any matter to be seen by the academic committee, there's a certain fee that you have to pay, and the fee is always on the form that you're going to select. Let's say that you want the deferral form. If you click on that form, it has a price on that so that you can know how much are you paying for it to be seen by the AC. If the payment is not done, there's no way that people will take their time from their busy schedules to deal with certain matters. So that's where we have that administration fee, so that things could be done for you and you can be assisted. But know that paying the admission fee or the administration fee doesn't mean that your matter will always be accepted, because if your documents or supporting documents are not correct, is not what we need, they don't tie up with whatever that you're telling us, your matter is going to be declined. So all the time when you make sure that every evidence that you have, it's factual and it holds water, because if it doesn't, then all your money would just be gone, the money that is needed for you to be able to apply for that AC. Sumila? And then, guys, there's something that I wanted to inform you of, ne? Remember that I told you when I started that I'm a student myself with Milpark for a couple of weeks. And there's something that I realized that if students can be able to do this, their life is going to be easier. What I'm going to refer you to is the student handbook. I promise you, with the student handbook, you're going to become a magician in Milpark, because you're going to know everything, how everything is done. If you have to apply for a deferral, what is needed, what documentation is needed. If you have a supplementary, what is a supplementary? How do you see that you have a supplementary? Which marks are you supposed to have? Like the student handbook, it guides you on everything, guys. And also with this, the handbook, you find it. Remember when I showed you where to go to the model page so that you can have it? Next to where is written My Learning, next to this, a part where is written Resources. On that resources, if you click on it, you will see that there's something called Student Documents. If you click there, you're going to find all the documents that you need to know as a student of Milpark, meaning that the timetable for the qualification that you're on. You're going to find our sexual harassment policy. We also have that, because some things happen. Sexual harassment policy. You're also going to have this student handbook, which will guide you on everything that you need to know as a student. And one of my favorite documents that is there is the referencing guide, because remember that you are about to do your assignments, and sometimes not being studying for quite some time, for those who will be starting again after their matric or after their pause, they need to know how to reference, so that they wouldn't say that you have plagiarized, you took somebody's work and you presented it as your own. So that referencing guide is also a Bible to go to all the time, so that it helps you to go through your qualification. So guys, please, as soon as this session is done, go into that student handbook, go to resources, and then be able to see what else do you have there and what else can work for your benefit. But the first document that I would like you to start with is the student handbook, because it has everything that you need to know as a student on how to handle it, and certain marks that you have to have for you to qualify for something else. So that's what I needed to inform you about. As I've said, you're going to be a magician of education. And then on our side also, we have a process. It's a serious process on our side, because it helps us to see and evaluate student performance, and we call it the at-risk process. It happens each and every semester, meaning that after you have written all your exams for the first semester, around July, August, we'll be having our at-risk for this year. And then with the at-risk, it shows us students that need to have warning letters. If you receive a warning letter, it will inform you on the steps that you have to take, and it means that you have failed 50% of the qualification or 100% of the modules that you have registered at that time. And then with the warning, it's okay, it's serious, but not as hectic as academic non-performance exclusion. Because with the warning, you come and then we have a counseling session. I guide you on other things. Also, the other PMs do it. They will guide you on certain things that you need to do so that you can improve your qualification. If you're struggling with the module, we'll connect you with the relevant academic owner who can help you so that you don't see yourself in that list again. Because if it happens again in the second semester, you register for other modules and then you fail. And then in December, we pull you again on the at-risk. In January, we'll be telling you that so-and-so, please do not register for anything because you have been excluded from the qualification. And when you are excluded from the qualification, this is a serious one, because now it's not only you coming for a counseling session. It means that you have to appeal so that you can be taken back. And a team of the at-risk committee will sit together to decide on your matter, that is it whatever that the student telling us preventing them from studying, after even we had the warning letter and they had a session with the program manager of their qualification, they still failed. But whatever that they're telling us that this is what happened, is it factual? So supporting documentation is going to be needed for that. So it's a lot of stress. So the only thing that I can just say for you guys, make it a point that you don't show up on this list. Just do your best, complete all your assessments so that we don't have to be here and then you are excluded while you are just starting your qualification. So I don't want to scare you, but I just want to make sure that you are well informed and you know what you are into currently as a student with us. And then guys, as I've been saying, this our email addresses. From my side, Ms. Mutlalane. I'm a senior program manager, but also coupled with that, I'm also a program manager of some streams in the BCom qualification, which is banking, BCom investment management, BCom banking and investment management, BCom credit, and BCom financial planning. And my email address is my name, Mutlalane, my surname at milpark.ac.za. And then also on the BCom side, we have Ms. Tembisa Zwane. And then Ms. Tembisa Zwane at this stage, she's standing in for Ms. Bitumelo Maretwa, who will be your program manager here. But also Ms. Bitumelo Maretwa is on DLO currently, but I'm just going to give you their details. I don't want you to be confused when they do the switch and move over again. And you say, but no, Mtalkom said that this is our PM. But currently the person that you can deal with is Ms. Tembisa Zwane for Bachelor of Commerce. And then the streams that she's dealing with is BCom General, BCom Compliance and Risk Management, BCom Taxation, and BCom Short-Term Insurance until she switches over. And then we are working together. It won't be a problem on your side at all. Even if you send her some stuff, she'll make it a point that she refers them to the relevant person. And then the other program managers that we have Ms. Lilani Nyoni. She's the program manager for Bachelor of Business Administration, which we normally call BBA. And then she's handling these streams, BBA Banking, BBA General, BBA Marketing, BBA Human Resource Management. And then her email is her name, lilani.nyoni@milpark.ac.za. And then we have Ms. Bitumelo Maretwa. She's handling distance learning online. And remember, guys, as I've said, distance learning online is only on offer on BBA, BCom, on BBA and BCom, but not on higher certificate in management or advanced certificate in management. And with her, she's handling both BBA and BCom streams that I have just informed you about that are handled by different people, but she's only handling them for distance learning online. And then her email address is bitumelo.maretwa@milpark.ac.za. milpark.ac.za. And then the last PM that we have is Miss Wendy Dennis. And Miss Wendy Dennis is handling our NCAF Level 5 and NCAF Level 6 qualification, which is Higher Certificate in Management and Advanced Certificate in Management. And her email address also is wendy.dennis@milpark.ac.za. So if you need any of us, you know the qualifications that we have, do contact us. If there's something that you need, maybe related to Beacon Banking, you are more than welcome to contact me. If there's something on BBA, you are more than welcome to contact Miss Nyoni. If there's something on distance learning online, BBA or BCom, you are more than welcome to contact Miss Bitumelo Maritwa. So from my side, thank you very much for the session. And then if you have questions, you can still type them on the chat, and then we'll answer for 5 minutes from now. And after that, we'll close. Just thank you for your time and being here. And I hope that you have learned something, because from our side, I'm just glad that Milpark put me through this qualification or this little program they put me on, because I wouldn't have known the challenges that you guys have. But being a student and also being Milpark employee, I realized stuff that I needed to share with you guys today that will make your life easier, because I also needed that assistance at some point while I was starting out. So yeah.
Hi, Nono. We have a couple of questions on our Ask a Question box. I'm not sure if you want to go through them, or this is something you will want to address some other time. Should we go ahead, or... Oh, I see. Tembisa has already been answering. I see. Okay, perfect.
Okay. Thank you, Tembi.
Okay, cool. I think everyone's questions has been answered. If you feel that your question has not been answered, please just pop it on the chat box so that we can see it. But otherwise, then I think we're good.
And Samila, they have our email addresses. We can pass for us. It's fine.
Okay, perfect. Cool. You're muted, babe.
You're muted.
I'll do it for you, Bev. Hold on. I can't seem to unmute you. Are you pressing while I'm pressing? Okay, maybe you can type it on the chat box, baby. Sanele Zulu says she's yet to receive her study material for HCM. Any update as to when one should expect it?
Because that's where study guides are sent from.
Sorry, no, we didn't catch that.
I was saying, can she send her student number?
Okay.
And then we'll share it with the logistics people and be able to get back to her.
Sanele, please share your student number. And then we've got Osejo. Please forgive me if I'm butchering your surname or your name. Yeah. So Osejo says, where do we get info on when courses will be available, particularly for DLO? So I think they want their critical dates and timetables.
Can you wait? Okay, the timetable is on the the resources, like where I have informed them to go when they go to their student portal. It's e-learning, my learning. After my learning, there's a part named resources with the tab resources. They have to click on that. On it, there has to be a timetable that is loaded for distance learning online for them, so that they can be able to check. But if ever she doesn't and she's struggling to go to that site, she can just also send a student number, like Sanele has done, and then we'll make it a point that we send it to her so that she knows. Because normally with DLO, when you register, let's say that you have registered for cycle 2, and cycle 2 is only starting on the 15th of March. The modules that you registered for won't show now, but they'll show later. And when they do, the classes start, they do make it a point that they contact you so that you know. But then it's better for us to just share the timetable with her so that she knows when the classes are starting, and then she won't be panicking.
Perfect. Thank you, Nono. I think Bev is also answering on the chat. Vicky's asking, is Microsoft Teams available for HCM? So do you guys
Vicky, with that one, I'm not certain, but I know that for our assignment overview session and exam overview sessions, we use Teams, and it's our course qualifications. So whatever that we're doing on BBA and BCom is something that is also done on higher certificate in management, because some of our modules like accounting and PMIC, we are sharing them, and managing people is modules that are shared across qualifications. So there won't be something that is done differently on that side that is not done on our side. So there is Teams also, so that you can have your assignment overview session and your exam overview sessions.
More questions about Batsiba says, can I get assistance with uploading all my modules? I'm only seeing one module instead of 3 and have no view of study program, assignment dates and exam dates. That's struggling to plan. So if they're having issues planning their lives because they can't see any of their modules except for one. So where can they go?
Place where I have referred Sanele on their student portal, and then instead of going to my learning, they go to resources, and on resources they have to be able to receive that timetable from there for the qualification. But however, if they are struggling, I suspect that the student is on distance learning online, and as we have been saying it, if you are registered on distance learning online, it's not like on distance learning. On distance learning, all modules will appear as soon as we process them. But on distance learning online, one module that is on offer at that time will be the only one that is appearing. After it disappears or you are done with it, another module that is for the next intake will appear. And the DLO people are so nice. They make it a point that they contact students so that they know that their module is starting. But for the case that students won't panic and start their academic life not being happy, we will just send through the timetable to them so that they can also have it. Because I know that if the system is new, I can say that you just go to resources and do this, and it might be daunting on their side. So just send us your student number, and then we'll be able to do that. And then Zanele, thank you for your student number. I have received, and I'll make it a point that I send you the timetable that you need. Zanele.
Cool. And guys, I think as Bev has also mentioned on the chat box, it's very important that you make use of that commerce support at milpark.ac.za for all your questions. You can just direct them there, and they will be able to sort you out. I see Joanne has also added her student number. So also, I think if you can also use that common support email address as well as contacting the program managers that Nono has mentioned while she was presenting for your individual questions. So if you're on DLO, you can contact Tumi with Tumelo or whatever stream. No, I think let me put up that slide again with all the contact details and for which stream. I think it will be very important for everyone to see. And then if you guys can just get all the information that you need and contact the relevant PMs. Those are the emails that you can contact. Oh, Batiba says nothing came up. Let me try again. So there is Mutali Khomo's email address. There's also Miss Tembiswa Zwane's email address that you can see there. And for HCM and ACM, we've got Wendy Dennis. The email address is wendy.dennis@milpark.ac.za. We also have Leilani Nyoni for BBA all streams, which is, and the email address is leilani@nyoni@milpark.ac.za. And for DLO all streams and BBA and BCom all streams, you can contact Butomelo and she'll be able to assist you. Did everyone get the email addresses now? You can let me know with a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you didn't. Awesome. Thank you very much, Winnie. Glad that you guys saw those. Awesome. Thank you, Sanele. Thanks, Vicky. Thank you, Spamandla. Awesome. No, are you able to answer that question around technical issues?
This is for, oh, Jehov. Guinea.
Awesome. Thank you very much. If we do not have any questions, no, I'm gonna hand over to you, and you can close or yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining the session, and please don't be scared. If there's anything that maybe you need us to inform you again about, you have our email addresses, so contact the relevant PM for your qualification and we'll gladly assist you. And then don't become strangers. All the people that we work with, they know that we are nosy PMs. We need to know even if your toe is sore, as long as it's going to impact you negatively on your qualification, we need to know. So I wish from now on, you know who we are, and then you can be able to reach out to us when we have challenges and if you need some advice. And then I hope again you have taken the email address for the student counselor. As I've said, she's a very lovely lady. She will help you if you have any challenges, because life happens, guys, and there's nothing that we can do about it but live through. So thank you again for being here and for joining the session, and also for always interacting with us and asking questions and all of that. And Useho, I see your comment. I'm gonna take your student number down so that I can be able to also share the DLO timetable with you. So from my side, for on the PM team, thank you guys. Thank you, Tembi, for handling the questions. Thank you to me also for handling the chat questions, because I saw that you were busy. Thank you, Lilani, for joining. Wendy couldn't be here with us today, but she also gave input before. Beverly, thank you for taking time away from family and being able to assist us. Liz Ray, thank you for being here. And Sirami in absentia, because Sirami is the head of school. That is the man that holds this team together. He's not here today, but you will know him. He's Mr. Sirami Ramsajana. And then the lady who makes things happen, Mr. Somila Ntinge. Thank you, ma'am, for everything that you do on our side. And yeah, everybody, lovely evening. That's all that I can say.
Awesome. You're welcome, Mutaliko. On the lighter side of things, as I mentioned earlier on, I'm from the marketing team. So we do a lot of fun things, and we would like you guys to get involved. Start liking us and following our pages on Facebook and on Instagram. So please like and follow our page, follow our posts. We post a lot of stuff from the School of Commerce. And then from time to time, we do reach out to students. So for example, if you are a student, a current registered student who has a business, who's running a small business or some kind of a business, please get in touch. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you and showcase your business on our pages. As well as we'll also be in touch with students in terms of showing you off online, saying welcome to individual students. That's what we do. So please be on the lookout for that. But most importantly, please engage with our posts on our social media platforms and follow us. I'm watching you. Kagiso, please follow. Alison, please follow us. Cool. Thank you so much. And then Mutlalikhomo will attend to all your questions around timetables, and those will be sent to you. So from us, gonna say thank you, and we're looking forward to partnering with you on your learning journey. So thank you guys, and good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.